welcome back to the City League Grand Final.
Let's go now.
3 p.m. goes big dangerous into the back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the City League for a second season. Our inaugural season of League of Legends play between clubs throughout Europe was completed, and now we're back for a second season, 2 more groups, and several more weeks. My name's still TJ, still joined, I think on this side, by Melky Serial. How are you doing today? This is actually your first time, I misspoke, on this broadcast, isn't it?
Yeah, it's my first time, TJ, and I'm really looking forward to the first day of Season 2 and, of course, group stages.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We have 4 exciting games ahead of us. We're kicking things off with some of the new teams, actually. MCES, which I'm definitely going to stumble on, Marseille, going right up against SP Thessaloniki, the champions of Season 1. Next, we'll move on to the Antwerp Lions playing the Eindhoven Lunatics. That's the end of Group A. And we'll flip on over to Group B, where we start things up with Hub Leuven facing Swordfish Banja 2, and the Swordfish Banja main team against Hub Valence, the runners-up last season.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to that last game that you mentioned, Swordfish Banja versus Hub Valence, because if you remember back in Season 1, they played in the semi-finals, and I'm sure Swordfish Banja will be looking to get some revenge heading into Day 1.
Yeah, Swordfish got pretty hard knocked out there, and this is kind of their chance for revenge, not just in that match, but I think of the whole season. They have 2 rosters now, 2 times the chances. This is their second season and their second shot at it. Of course, if you're rooting for them or any other team, please let us know. I'll be keeping an eye on the Twitch chat and the Twitter feed. That's twitch.tv/CityLeague and the hashtag TCL. You can also tweet at us at CityLeagueGG on Twitter, and I'd encourage you to follow that account because over the course of the season we'll have a lot of giveaways and more. If someone was going to tweet one specific thing at you or the City League accounts, what should it be, Malcolm?
It has to be this patch 9.12, the Mordekaiser rework. So, guys, get some messages in on Mordekaiser. Do you want to be seeing that in any of these 4 games today?
I literally met him for the first time today. Just immediately hits me with, oh my god, Mordekaiser! So I respect. Yeah. We'll see if we have him here, because we are into the draft phase for game number 1 of Season 2 of the City League.
And yeah, if we look at the bans, we can already see that the Mordekaiser has been banned away by Thessaloniki. I have a sneaking suspicion that it's going to be banned out in all 4 games, as Uni and Raven also being banned out as well.
You may think that, but that's because you haven't watched much City League. What you don't understand is that here at the City League we're wild, and we will definitely see a Mordekaiser today. The other bans are a little bit standard, a little bit more standard than actually I'd expect, and have come to expect from the City League. Particularly that Yuumi ban. I've been watching a lot of LPL recently, and I'm firmly of the opinion that Yuumi should be an insta-ban everywhere. Kai'Sa will come through for the first pick over on this blue side.
Yeah, it's a nice safe pick early game. Sorry, not early game. It's just a nice safe early pick to take Kai'Sa. Probably going to pick something like the Braum to go with her. That's why Galio has been picked up by Marseille. Just want to take away the Kai'Sa Galio bot lane potential. So probably going to be seeing an Alistair or Braum coming soon through for Thessaloniki.
Of course, it is Thessaloniki over on this blue, the left-hand side, the reigning City League champions. The poor sacrifices to them are over on the right. The red side, it's MCES's first time here in City League. So, while it's a somewhat rough introduction to play the champions on your first outing, I'm confident they'll surprise us, especially given how good their draft's been so far.
Yeah, and it can only get easier from here if you are playing the reigning champions in Game 1, as Sejuani going to be picked up as well, and we know Thessaloniki, they like to play that kind of the Jarvan, the Sejuani in that jungle, as the Alistar going to come through as well, which is what we predicted earlier. Oh, yep. Karma!
Even with the Karma, this is very similar to what we saw throughout much of the early games during Season 1, so I'm by no means surprised. Birdie's sword has been swapped out or maybe just renamed. I don't have confirmation of that. Their new jungler will be Stop Nerfing Me. That's kind of interesting because their jungle was such a key part of their success last season, so we'll have to see if that's held up.
Yeah. As the Kane going to be locked in the jungle for Marseille as we enter the second round of bans, as the Nautilus is going to be banned away. So Marseille don't necessarily think that this Karma is going to be going in the support lane. They don't think Specs is necessarily going to play the Karma, and that's because Karma has been buffed a little bit, so she's got a bit more survivability, so it can be flexed into that mid lane or even possibly in the top lane, because Karma does notoriously work into tanks such as Sion.
I'm going to be interested to see how the bot lane holds up as well, because that was kind of the weakest point of SPT during Season 1. Pikayon and Specs are very, very good, but you'd occasionally see them get pushed out early in games or look a little bit shaky and defensive, while the rest of their team got an advantage. So I think if there is going to be a change up in fortunes here, it will happen around that bot lane, and that is why I'm so excited that the first pick from MCES was this Galio, because that implies to me this is a bot lane focus for them. They have a confident support player, they want to get aggressive with it, and they're following through right now.
Yeah, I mean, Galio usually is that kind of pick that can just disengage from anything that comes through, so it is a really nice protection for your ADC. And as you can see, the Braum and the Nautilus being banned away, so they do think that Karma is going into the mid lane, as a Xayah going to be locked in. So most likely we're going to be a Xayah Galio in the bot lane, but what I'm really looking forward to is Rev Prey in that top lane. We know how much he can carry this team, we know how good he is, and we know that he likes to pick those champions that have huge carry potential, which will really. So we might be seeing that Renekton coming through, which can do a lot of damage, but let's just see what he will pick up.
I for my spread, because that just plays a lot of revenue. I have gotten from our team that is Birdie's sword now over to Stop on the Sejuani, so the same the one Season 1 is when you're.
Yeah, exactly. And we asked from MCES Marseille, and this will be in the mid lane. So it's what do they want to play? To win wins Oriana, and it's going to be a lot very, very birdy made in that mid lane, and I'm really interested to see how this could go, because I think it's going to be a very volatile mid lane.
I'm related by that. These are some really good drafts. The out to them from the Marseille side, but apart from this draft, would not be out of place at a competitive fielder league. It makes perfect sense. And then there are a few shaky things from SPT that you wouldn't see at the highest level of competitive play, like a Riven, like I think it's worth. Rev is a skilled, at least according to League of Legends, player in the city, so him being on his key character on his I think it balances out, even if it's supposed to be a little less popular.
Yeah, and it's that thing, you can focus focus you can out those better champions. Still, if there is someone out there who is a one-trick or in case just able to play a champion to a really high level, you have to give it that respect. And I do think the Ornn is accessible because Ornn is the pick. They know something aggressive, try to play something in that top lane. So I think Ornn is one of their best shots in order to try to keep Revray at bay and focus their energies getting either that pain into that and try to get DKM ahead of Aya. That's going to be so important.
You may have noticed a new logo below the SPT side. That's HyperX. They decided to hop on board help out City League this, and I've been asked to tell you that you win any one of their products from our Twitter giveaways, which will be coming up in the weeks. We'll be giving away a Pulsefire FSP Pro and a couple mouse mats as well. So be sure to check on that social media. So of course, at CityLeague using the hashtag. The winners of this tournament will get some HyperX. It'll be an PSGB keyboard and a Pulsefire Surge Pro mouse to every single member of the winning team. So that's pretty sick.
Yeah. I wouldn't a mouse old. Yeah.
You got to win.
It could take an upgrade. I'm going to see TJ. I'm about to do anything.
What you should is playing in the city. I suppose.
It's the sacrifice bring the pick games to our audience.
Yes, if you'd like to get in on that, you can of course follow Twitter. Let in on this game though. Our first time, and it is Thessaloniki's first outing since winning Season 1. How do you feel coming out of the draft? If I nail you down for a prediction, who do you side with?
I'm going to go with Thessaloniki because I think it's just the obvious choice, but also as I really like highlighting kind of team fights versus the pick and delete, and I think Thessaloniki have got a really nice comp for the team fight just because of that Sejuani, the ultimate, the Glacial Prison, combined with the Shockwave from I Need a Win on that Orianna. I feel like there's a lot of damage that can come through, and combine that with the amount of Kai'Sa damage, I think that they've got a really nice just team fight, and they can just leave Revray in a side lane just to keep on pushing, just to be able to get that better split push than what Swiftix can do on the Ornn. For the side of Marseille, they've got a really nice pick. If they can land the Q from Damzi's Lux, then all of a sudden you've got the Galio coming in, getting the knock-up, getting the taunt, and they can get a pick quite quickly like that. So it's going to come down to Thessaloniki trying to get that, trying to get the team fight while leaving Revray possibly in the side lane, maybe TP in for that Baron fight. And speaking of TPs, you can see 2 TPs to 1 on the side of Thessaloniki. Both I Need a Win and Revray with the TP, while Damzi taking the more defensive barrier on the Lux, which makes sense when you play against something like an Orianna and a Sejuani.
So I'm sorry, but though that was a lot of real good analysis, I didn't catch a prediction.
Thessaloniki.
And color casters do this. They try and slither out. You say, hey, I need a prediction from you. And they say, well, you know, it really depends on. And then before you know it, you're talking about the Mordekaiser rework. So I'm going to nail you down. Who's going to win this match?
Thessaloniki.
I'm
pretty sure I started with Thessaloniki because they have the better team fight.
All right. Thessaloniki, because they have the better team fight. We'll see how it actually plays out as we do get into game number 1 of the City League Season 2.
And both sides just fanning out, just making sure there are no cheeky level 1 invades or anything of the sort. And just going to guide everyone's eyes again to this mid lane and the bot lane, because I think the top lane will be stalled out a fair bit. I think SwiftEX will just try to freeze the waves or just sit under turret and farm as much as he can. But the mid lane, it's both Lux and Orianna are champions that can delete. Well, not delete, but poke out a lot. Damzi has more delete potential, so I think that could really blow up. and this bot lane as well, because if Specs can play the Karma right, he can zone out DKM and FaZe so much, and possibly just find a kill just from being able to poke so much with that buffed Karma Q.
Not to put you on the spot, but I'm going to put you on the spot. How do you turn this round? If you are playing defense against the SPT side you favored so much, what works out for you?
I think it's going to come down to them, again, trying to find these picks, trying to get Iden, Kane to focus on this mid lane and the bot lane, try to get them ahead, and then once they can get someone ahead, just try to get them snowballing. Xayah can snowball really well, as can that Pika on, as in the top lane.
Yeah, a little bit of poke up top, and shouldn't be too much trouble. Down bottom, there's a little skirmish as well as the Galio gets in on the action with some corrective measures. But no full engages yet.
And we're just going to have to watch out for it, especially because in that top lane, Swifty X already back up to full HP, using those health pots quite nicely. Just watch out for Specs' inner flares in that bot lane, because they do so much damage when they are ult empowered.
So I'm putting a lot of emphasis for me up on this top lane because it's Revray and he's like my MVP boy. But down bottom, I think you've also got a tough battle because Pikayon has played really well throughout Season 1. Though their bot lane looked weaker in comparison to many other teams,
oh, stop nerfing
it was never his fault. And he's got back up here, as you quite well know. There's a full engage. FaZe in trouble. He'll be able to flash out. DKM's also safe behind tower. Neither of them quite at risk, as there isn't the CC yet to pin down isolated players.
But crucially, they get 2 summoner spells from DKM and FaZe, the heal and the flash, just in exchange for stop nerfing me's flash. So a good trade overall in the bot lane. Now we've got
and a
fight in the
blue buff
jungle.
steal away as well. Stop nerfing me back in the action. He's got to rotate Loner here as well. Light binding is available, and it will be spent. Burned down. Damsey in the area, and he will try and find something else, but the whole team's now here to collect on FaZe. Pikayon gets an opening. A flash in from Loner. DKM got to bail out. Full damage from Pikayon will threaten him, but it's Loner to grab the kill. 3-1 now to SPT.
And it's just absolute mayhem in the jungle. As you mentioned, Thessaloniki picking up 3 kills to 1. And crucially as well, they got that first blood.
Yeah, that's a devastating opening. And it's so aggressive too.
Oh,
Here's
I
no
need to win
opportunity to
out.
turn things around. Loner up for grabs, but I don't think Aizen wants to hang around. Not for long. Specs is here. Flash out might save him, but FaZe actually missed a heroic charge. He goes in for the Justice Punch, just comes up short. Might have saved his life, actually.
And the flashes as well coming through from Specs and Iden. And neither of these team players are holding on to summoner spells. They're just going crazy for it as soon as they can.
It's real scary. SPT are playing hyper-aggressive and getting away with it.
And Marseille are trying their best to try to catch them out, but when you're losing these fights in your own jungle, just look at this vision control that Thessaloniki have in the bot side jungle, in their enemy's jungle. This highlights just they're playing that vision control. They have a full idea of where the Kane is at all times, if he's coming into that jungle or not, if he's going for that blue buff. And you can already see the pings onto Iden. Nerfing me knows that he's there. He knows that Iden has gone for those raptors, only to realize it's stolen because they have that jungle vision.
And the second he tries to peek in, he's already behind, which must be real scary. Speaking of, Revray in the top lane barely is stopped from shutting down Swiftx, who's been pinned behind his tower for a couple minutes now. That's got to be adding up against him in the gold game.
Yeah, he's done a good job. Pardon me. Only 5 CS behind at the minute. But if you take a look in this mid and bottom lane, Thessaloniki really getting a big advantage there. Almost over 10 CS gold advantage in both those lanes.
That's a real good sign for SPT if you're 6 minutes in and already 10 CS ahead in both lanes.
Especially playing the Kai'Sa into a Xayah, as in the bot lane.
Pressure in. Justice Punch and Winter Durant both go wide. Now things get dangerous. MCES just needs to back up as a team, and Faye will barely survive the engagement. DKM still here to take the brunt of the damage. He's just trying to clear wave against these turret plates being shredded by Vakaon. That CS advantage with the aid of the turret plates just got a whole lot worse.
Oh, but in the top lane,
looking for more up top. He might have bitten off more than he can chew. No, he hasn't. The turn, and Swipex barely survives.
he might be looking for something. He has flash.
Flash in. Oh, Swipex tries to dash out, but it does not matter. Rebray's down in trade. 1-for-1 up top. Faye will fall down bottom to Pakaon as he flashes in for a kill of his own.
And it's 2 kills for 1, and Thessaloniki again taking these little advantages. They've already got a 4K goal lead 7 minutes in, and they're really showing why they are the current champions.
Pakaon absolutely terrifying in that bot lane. Just as I'm kind of like down-talking the SPT bot lane on the sly, he's showing up for a ton of aggression, and I don't think anyone save maybe Damsey has gotten out from behind their turret in a while, and they shouldn't be in their jungle either, as Aiden is shut down by Specs.
And Thessaloniki playing this jungle game so well, and now the bot lane dive coming through.
Yeah, it looked real rough. Faye has to flash behind turret, he'll go in. Oh, good taunt, maybe. Slow it down, stop nerfing me. Oh, the CC's good as well. Pakaon's down. A sick shutdown, but I don't think DKM just can stay alive. Faye was trying to micro him, but the 2 kills will be picked up by Stop Nerfing Me as he surges through to clean up the tower.
And SwiftX has it TP'd in now. Can he get anything?
Stacks nearby. This might go his way, but 1v2 is going to add up against him if he can't get to Specs. Will eventually chip him down without intervention. Rev Ray in the meantime is reaping the rewards of that kill in the top lane. That's going to be 2 turrets and half HP or less.
And SwiftX trying to find this outplay in the bot lane, keeping down, trying to find the 1v2. But Specs just has so much damage, so much shields as well. And they just end up picking up the kill, and that's both the top lane and the bot lane turret, losing a lot of turret plates.
I'd be real scared if I were a Marseille fan right now, because everything just seems to be adding up against them. How do you get back in this game? Is it all on Damsey, who's lost his lane the least?
They're going to need to find picks, because it's not going to come down to one person. They really need Thessaloniki to try to go for another one of these turret dives, but completely lose out of it, because actually in the mid lane we've got to play.
Yeah, Damsey just poking back and forth now. Oh my god! I almost the blast forward! I didn't misspeak! I need a win! Have a kill to him with the aggressive play that we were looking for. Right as we say, maybe the mid lane's going a little bit better for them.
Yeah, and I need a win, just shutting down all options for Marseille. In the top lane, we're getting that trade.
Is this Heroes of the Storm? Constant action in all 3 lanes. Swipex calls in the ult, but it's not gone well as Rebreak dances around him, and he's got another kill. Pakaon will surge forward down bot. This is going to look deadly for Marseille as he manages all the ticks, and he's got another pick. DKM to fall back. Elian is in the area, but I don't think he'll get out to Stop Nerfing Me. Just surges forward and chips him down over time. There's nothing that can be done. This is devastating. 13 kills, and I don't know how you turn this. Danny, please get something back. He's got the poke in mid, and finally a shutdown.
But look how much damage look how much damage Damsey took. Damsey was full HP, and I Need a Win was still low HP after that trade, after that solo kill that he pulled off. That's just how far ahead they are right now. He's already got the Luden's Echo relative to Damsey's lost chapter, and the first turret is falling in that bot lane.
Okay. Oh my god, stop trying to walk into your own jungle, Damsey. It's not safe.
The shockwave.
Yeah, it'll pull Fade back in, lands a double taunt, that's not bad. At best, it allows Aiden a chance to escape. And that seems to be the result up in the top lane. Red still running circles around Swiftex, stopping him from retreating back to his turret. It looks like he'll get behind it, but that won't save him. Red's got bored, 16 kills in 11 minutes.
And a 10k gold advantage. The first Drake is now getting taken, and Thessaloniki are demolishing their way through this game.
Welcome to the City League, Marseille.
What's the term for it? This is a very I can't remember the wording. My English has just disappeared right now.
I don't blame
But look at Kane in the mid lane.
I think will go in. I need a win. His focus. He won't get a win. His loader shuts him down. FaZe caught out. Did land a taunt. Tried to back up the play, but there's nothing else that can come from it. The poke for the Lux of Damsey is all but ignored by Stop Nerfing Me.
And all three outer turrets have now been taken. But look at Revray.
Revray! You madman! He just bats through behind the turret. Surely he pays for this, and yet he does not. He took out alone.
Rift Herald is up, so they could go for this. And I hate to give a spoiler, but I think this game is going to be over before 20, unless Thessaloniki really just try to, I hate to say it, but BM ever so slightly. The next Drake's going to be an Infernal, and they have complete priority over it. So expect them to be dealing so much damage.
Bully my color casters, I say. You gotta tell me, how can they turn this game? What could go wrong? But
Nothing.
at this point, it is real good for SPT. We were kind of saying, you know, this is your first chance for Marseille back in entering the City League. This is your first chance to show what you've got. I think SPT were the side we kind of neglected. This was their first time back in the City League since winning it, and everyone was kind of wondering, SPT, what do you like for Season 2? They took this as an opportunity to make that statement. They're back to win. They won 2 seasons.
And you asked TJ at the very start in that pick and bans, can we see him Pika on and Specs in the bot lane? I'll hold that thought.
Oh, good poke in. Damsey in trouble. Just as fun. Will land. That slows things down. And the final sparks through as well. But none of it matters. They can't do damage, Milky.
Oh no, Aiden, what are you doing there?
Running. Fleeing. Maybe behind 2 turrets he can bait out a kill. And he does. 1 kill over to him. Specs quite low as well. But he will still fall.
Stop nerfing me. Tanking the turret just to allow Picon to get another kill. Now sitting at 4-1-7, but I want to go back to what you mentioned. Will we see this bot lane from Thessaloniki outplay? Well, take a look at Fane, right? He has something called Relic Shield, which is now a Targon's Brace. He only has 9 CS on it. He's 14 minutes in. He should be at about 20, if not more.
That's real rough. I'm not going to lie to you.
And that all comes down to the poke that Specs is able to do. But look at Revray.
Just walking behind faces, as you do. DKM. Oh, surely not. Behind the turret, behind 2 turrets. It doesn't even matter. Revray's going to get away with it.
And in the top lane.
I thought for sure he'd be caught out. Up top, it's another kill. Revray finally punished for his avarice. Only finally. And I don't think Swiftex can hold that lane. I think he thinks he can, but nobody's drawn attention to him yet. Also worth noting, the Rift Herald's being picked up during this time.
Yeah, 15 minutes in, a 15k goal lead, almost a 15 kill lead, and I can't see any way back in, but we're seeing him play in the top lane.
Swiftex in, I need a win, we'll get Justice Punch, but he flashes out of the taunt, the madman, and now he's got backup. Swiftex is here, and they do so much damage. Specs burns down an opening kill. FaZe just leaving. There's nothing they can do. This turret's gone. Surely they know that. Rift Herald is in the area to be summoned, but it won't even be needed. And instead it's ulted. Stop nerfing who wants another kill. 4 people in the area. The final squad goes out. Cole's already there, but it hasn't done enough. Stop nerfing me. It's just tanking a 4-man focus. Well, I need a win. Chips away at the front line.
And Marseille trying to play this properly. They're trying to find the 3v1s, trying to catch people out. But Thessaloniki have so much movement speed with the likes of Specs and I need a win. But hold the thought.
Oh, maybe a chance to go in, but they're shielding there. I need a win. We'll just chase Iden. 1v1 me, bro, he says. And that was a mistake. Gets shut down finally. Iden doing quite well. And here's a nice taunt underneath the tower. Stop nerfing me in trouble. And Iden's got multiple low HP members around him. He can't clean any of them up, but he scares them all back. Faye can't get it close range though. He's going to need to drift back. The inhib will be saved. Somehow, Marseille hold on.
I don't really think that counts as holding on, but sure, we'll go with it.
Is the game over, Melky?
Yes. If this was a solo queue game, it would have already been 15 FF, and I feel bad for Marseille because this is not a nice way to start your careers in City League. But a 22 kill advantage. Now look at Revray. This is what Marseille have been trying to do, catch people out. But there is so much movement speed, there is so much escape potential from these champions on Thessaloniki that they just can't pull it off. Now look at Revray hiding in the bush.
Hiding? Waiting. This is an ambush. And now he'll spring it. Oh, but he might have bitten off the flash down. He's safe. Final spark as well. 2 ults wasted wide. He'll try an ult to catch the cup in the meantime. Stop nerfing me. Flies into the side. Launches the Glacial Prison. TKM's his target. 1v3. I'd hope think he can do it, but he'll sure try. Finally goes into stasis. He'll be stunned up at the end of it by Justice Punch and surely shuts down Revray. In the meantime, though, has won his fight and they've got Pakayon. Faye needs to get back because Pakayon just deletes people. Revray's got the slows, the stuns.
Got the killer instinct.
Pakayon is striding forward inevitably, and it does not matter. DKM gets 2. That's massive.
But I need a win is at the base. He's at the base.
The whole time. He's just focusing the inhib turrets. They'll get an inhib turret, at least for sure. There's not enough HP on these players from Marseille to fight him 1v1.
He has the shockwave.
Drift back.
He's just staying there. He doesn't care. He's just staying in the base. And now look at Revray in the pot lane.
This will be 2 inhibs down. There's almost nothing they can do. I need a win. We'll drift past this inhib turret now, finally being a little bit careful as Iden goes through. Shadow step in. Oh, but the shockwave's good. Iden scared back on low HP. Faye's got to finish the kill. The aftershock almost does the deed, but I need a win. Just walks away. Oh, Revray. Iden, are you safe? I don't think so. I need a win. Gets the turn. He's too close. Iden in for the kill. Doesn't the trespass. And the kill. That might be his escape. Revray on the chase. Can't make the connection. Light finding through. Final spark as well. The man burns down. And finally, SPT overstepped their bounds.
Yes. For you kids out there, this is not how you're supposed to play a League of Legends game. You're supposed to be a much more calm, much slower, but Thessaloniki don't care. They're just trying to end as quickly as possible. As look at Picon. He's got the ultimate.
Oh, can he do this? Well, maybe. Faye in trouble, already down his ADC. There's no way to turn this back and stop nerfing these attacks. The front line, and Pakayon steps through for a double kill. If they get Baron, this game is over. 4 players here with a TP through. It should be easy.
If you say if they get Baron again, they would have already taken Baron by the time you finished that sentence.
If they get Baron. Oh, nice.
Right, so much damage. A 9-2 Kai'Sa, a 10-3 Orianna. It's just disgusting. And now they're just going to shove in this mid wave and end. There's practically nothing Marseille can do now.
I do feel Marseille have held on really well, all things considered. They have, whenever they've been given a mistake, they punished it. However, the Arctic Cell comes through with the Glacial pushing it. It's 6 kill bottom start through, but it doesn't matter. They're already down 2 players. DKM and Faye off the board instantly. Hyden trying to dive the backline, but as the player who's created trouble in the pack, he deserves special focus. And he's removed. It's a full team wipe, apart from Swimex, who hurdled round a little longer. But the inhib will fall. The inhib turrets are already gone. The Nexus turrets are already gone. And so are Marseille. Welcome to the City League. It's game number 1 of Season 2 to the reigning champion, SP Thessaloniki.
And I think this game just really highlights, as much as I hate to say it, but the skill gap between the two teams, as Thessaloniki just outclassed their way to the first victory of Season 2.
That was, I don't want to say rude, I'll say really effective from SPT. That was exactly what they would have wanted on their first outing. And I believe this is the Marseille desk right now. I could be incorrect.
And I don't know. Maybe this one. I think this might be Marseille. These guys look just a little bit more down. But yeah.
Now that I actually think about it, we didn't have SPT's camera last season, so I don't know. It could be either, but neither side terribly jubilant. For SPT, it was another day at the office. For Marseille, it was a rough one.
And just really well played by Thessaloniki, and you have to wonder and you have to look forward to the rest of the games in Season 2. You know, can they do it again? Can they win it out? I mean, last time in the finals, they were only able to win with that 2-1 against Hub Valence. So you never know. It could be close at this time, but they started off their campaign in really strong form.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. However, they've got a long way to go, a whole season ahead of them, and we'll be with them every step of the way. Before we move on to our remaining games of the evening, let's touch on the results of this game. Was there anything that really stood out to you from that Marseille side, even though they did have a rough first experience? What looked good?
I think Damsey did well to hold his own for quite a long time on that Lux. I think Aiden also did pretty well as well on the Kane. I mean, Kane's not really strong in the meta right now, so I think he was at a disadvantage in that jungle in the first place. But considering how much he got bullied in that jungle, which isn't his own fault, is just because the bot lane of Thessaloniki were able to rotate, had that priority, were able to help out Stop Nerfing Me. I mean, if you take a look at the CS difference, Stop Nerfing Me almost has double the CS of Aiden, 142 to 77. So I think, all things considered, Aiden did a good job playing in a really bad situation, and he was able to find some plays, try to find some stuff. It wasn't enough to bring Marseille back into the game, but it was a really positive look.
Yeah, my two MVPs are Damsey and Aiden. Aiden did a really good job, like you said, despite being behind, despite having almost no access to his jungle. He was doing a decent job finding picks, targeting the lower HP members, being able to shadow step into the backlines and get some opening picks. And Damsey was doing a real good job in that Lux whenever someone overstepped. Because that's where you want the Lux for. If someone's just getting a little bit too big for their boots, a defensive Lux can still find a lockdown kill. And several times, Damsey did exactly that. To address the elephant in the room, though, it was a terrifyingly good performance against them. SPT looked real strong. If you had to pick one part, what's the best part?
I think it had to be, I think it was what? A level 5 3-man turret dive in that bot lane. I thought that was quite big. They managed to get 2 for 1, if I'm not mistaken. So, and I think that just highlighted how aggressive Thessaloniki were planning to play. That game was not something at the spur of the moment. They didn't decide, you know what, let's start turret diving. They knew before that game, how are we going to play this? And they thought, let's just flex a little bit. Let's go ballsy. Let's just go for those engages, go for those turret dives. And they did that. There was no point during that game did they think, we're not going to play aggressive. They played aggressive through the entire game. They stuck to their game idea, and they made it work, as we saw.
Sometimes in the middle of night, the children in the parents' group of Group A say to their little kids, be warned, SP Thessaloniki are coming for you. And then they have nightmares the whole night. It's awful. Well, maybe someone can step up. We'll get our eyes on the second two members of Group A after this. We'll head over to the Antwerp Lions against the Eindhoven Lunatics. Eindhoven are the second team to join Group A this season. I can't wait for their first time in the City League. Stay around. We'll be right back with that match and the rest of the evening after this.
Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon. Turn us to thousands, and on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go.
In the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you. gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, 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 for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the City League. We're back with game number 2 and a second team to introduce for the first time. My name's still TJ, joined still by Milky Cereal. This is your second game of City League. How was game 1?
I think we can say it was ever so slightly one-sided as Thessaloniki were able to take the win against Marseille. And now heading into game 2, I think we're already in the draft phase.
We are. We'll speed through our little introduction here because we do have a draft to go. That will, of course, be between our second game of the day, Antwerp Lions and the Eindhoven Lunatics. Eindhoven are the team I speak of. This will be their first chance to play in the City League. They're currently sitting over on the red right-hand side with Antwerp on the left. Antwerp had a alright season last time. And by that I mean they went out last in Group A, 0-3.
And yeah, so it's going to... that somehow caught me out. But yeah, as you mentioned, Eindhoven Lunatics as well, new to the league. So they're going to be hoping for a better start to their runnings than Marseille have had in game 1. And we've already seen that Sivir being picked up. Nice safe pick.
Yep, these sure look like standard. Oh wait, no, that's Nar. Okay, never mind. I take back this standard draft. So this on paper should be a better opportunity for Eindhoven because they don't need to play the best team in the league. They need to play a team that struggled last season.
Yeah.
But they're not filling me with confidence when they go for a draft like this. Nar, Brand, both good in solo queue, but definitely not preferred in competitive play.
I mean, Nar has always been that champion that has been decent in competitive play because it has a lot of team synergy. It's been a bit out of the meta recently. And, I mean, I have to say, Mordekaiser hasn't been banned yet. But I do like this Brand pick.
I told you. Remember when you were like, oh, no one will play Mordekaiser today? And I was like, you don't understand. City League gets wild. Maybe. These 2 picks, these 3 picks, make a little bit more standard sense. It will be a Thresh, a Poppy through for Antwerp, with Eindhoven picking up a Vladimir, also standard.
It's interesting, though, because they don't have the opportunity to flex that Vlad around. It's not going to be going in the top because, of course, there is that Gnar in the top lane. And so you already know, you already know what Eindhoven are going to play. It's a Gnar in the top lane, it's a Vlad in the mid lane, and it's a Brand support. Now, I honestly think Mordekaiser would go really well into a Gnar because it could outduel him in that realm of death. And Rek'Sai being banned out, so I honestly think that Antwerp will leave that Mordekaiser open and go for it themselves.
It may also just be that these players haven't had a chance to pick up Mordekaiser yet.
The thing is, I feel like he's sufficiently broken, or he feels sufficiently broken that they could just play him anyway.
He may fall all the way through the draft just because these players haven't played him yet, and I'm preparing you for that possibility. Zaya joins the battlefield over for the Eindhoven side. So far, I like the draft of Antwerp much more because I'm a big yes, especially with the Nico, because I'm a big CC fan. I like my obnoxious stuns, and everyone but the Sivir sure has one of those.
Yeah, and I'm starting to feel that might be a Nico on hit, but no, it's going to be Nico mid. We're going to be seeing that Jarvan in the jungle and Lumio playing that Poppy in the top lane. All that's left now is... No, it's not a Soraka. Don't be fooled by that, Milky. It's a jungler that we're going to be seeing getting... Is that a placeholder? I think it might be... It's not... No, I'm not believing this. I'm not believing this until we get into game, TJ.
It is possible that's a placeholder, but I haven't received that notification for production, and we're now 10, 15 seconds out without this draft being redone, which makes me think...
Brand Jungle?
Is that Brand Jungle?
No. What are you doing, I mean, they are called the Eindhoven Lunatics, let's be honest, but this might be too much for them.
They're giggling. They're bad. All right, Eindhoven.
Can we take a
Impress
look?
me, I guess, because I am thoroughly alarmed.
I want to take a look at Kipsel's solo queue. I want to see this brand jungle. I want to see what he's been putting off. In fact, I'm going to go over and do that right now. So I want to find out, does this brand jungle work?
He's pulling up his stats screen.
I am pulling up my stats.
Antwerp Lions are chilling in a very mood-lit gaming arena. You can see that the lights kind of dim there. But that's just because any light around you distracts from the intensity in front of you.
Yes. And I have got my stats, TJ. So, we have one game that has been played by our very own Kipster, and it was with the rest of his team as well. So it was a practice. He went 4-1-8 brand jungle MVP according to eus.op.gg.
I am in. Show me that brand jungle. Okay.
Would you like to know what he builds with brand jungle?
I don't know if we can have that many spoilers, but all right.
He builds runic echoes, so the AP, and then straight into that Rabadon's death cap. So he's looking for some really explosive damage.
Hey, if it works, we're going to look real silly for laughing at him. That's all I'm saying. So maybe temper your expectations, because if that works, he's going to look real smart and we're going to look real dumb.
I mean, maybe he thinks he's introducing the new Karthus jungle coming through that just isn't Karthus jungle and doesn't have the global ult. But I'm interested to see how this is going to work. We are in spectator delay now, so we can also talk about, I mean, I'd say we can talk about spells, but it's all fairly standard. We can see 2 TPs coming through from the side of Antwerp Lions, but just 1 TP on the side of the Lunatics.
Milky, I feel like this is redundant, but I want to stay to form. Coming out of the draft, who do you favor? Whose draft do you think is stronger?
I think Antwerp Lions draft is stronger. I would like to see Eindhoven Lunatics
all right,
win.
But this is a... No. I'm going to explain this to you. What you're doing is you're siding with the establishment. You're siding with the meta.
I said I expect Antwerp to win, but I want Eindhoven to win just because they've got a brand jungle.
There is no reason to side with the establishment that have oppressed brand jungle for so long when you can instead join the lunacy that Eindhoven have presented. So explain to me, pitch to me, in a perfect world, how does this work?
Well, the thing is, Eindhoven Lunatics have 0 frontline. They've got a Gnar, but Gnar can only frontline when he hits that, when he gets to the Mega Gnar, when he builds up enough rage to go into Mega Gnar. So they can't play teamfight, because if they play teamfight, they are going to get beaten up. I honestly think they will get beaten up by Antwerp Lions. So they can't go for that. They need to go for, a 1-3-1 or a 1-4. And they can't do a 1-3-1 because they only have 1 TP. So if they put Vladimir in that side lane, trying to match Nico, Shades is going to be able to TP to any objective much, much quicker. So I just don't like it. I just feel that the team fight is completely in favor of Antwerp and Eindhoven Lunatics. They're going to have to, go for what I like ganking presence. I mean, he's got CC, but I don't know. I've never seen brand jungle, so I'm in a just new territory here.
You don't know what to expect.
No.
All right. Well, I'm glad we've produced that in you. I'm glad you are ready for anything,
That
as
was a banana.
I think it would be fair to
No one
describe you as.
expects the banana.
So,
Minions have spawned.
let's talk then instead about the bot lane matchup, because this is real standard from JB and Chiron. Thresh Sivir playing into Soraka Xayah. Xayah in particular has seen a ton of competitive play as of late. Do you feel like that Soraka, which isn't seen nearly as often, is viable as a counter?
I'm going to take that, but I want to mention it in terms of the patch 9.12 that just came out, because there has been a bit of a buff to AP support. But Soraka isn't one of those. So I honestly think that the bot lane is again in favor of Antwerp lines. I think that they have outdrafted Eindhoven here, because that Thresh, Soraka is weak against anything that has CC. As a former Soraka player myself, you do not want to be playing Soraka if you see something like a Nautilus, a Thresh, a Blitzcrank, because they will hit you, lock you down, and you will get blown up. Completely blown up. And you can already see here the Soraka just sitting so far behind, but has already taken so much damage. So expect Henk just to be sitting back, just trying to heal up Triple X as much as he can.
Yeah, just trying to stay alive, because that's going to be rough. They're actually real far behind turrets. They're actually like playing real far back right off the bat.
They can't step up because there is so much threat from Chiron on this Thresh. And if he lands a death sentence, it's GG in that bot lane.
Good pull in from the play, a flash forward, Chiron with the death sentence, they've got the kill! A strong opening kill to the Antwerp Lions.
And this is what we mentioned, if that death sentence
Black
lands...
drag. This could get dangerous, it is dangerous. As they're very aggressive in the jungle.
Yeah, and they spot a Brand jungle, they realize, oh, it's a Brand jungle. He's not going to be able to clear his jungle quickly. Let's go and invade. And guess what? They get the kill. So
Antwerp didn't get a win last season. They went literally winless. They have a chance now today to counter that right off the bat. And they've had a strong start towards it.
And this is the issue between playing something in solo or playing something in flex as a 5-man and then going into a competitive game. When you play flex, the other team isn't always, a 5-man team. So you can make so much stuff work in flex, but it's not going to work in a team thing because they are synergized. As soon as that Brian gets picked up, Antwerp will have a coach. The coach will just say, don't worry about Brand jungle, just invade him. So, and that's what they've done, and they're making it work currently as they are 2-0. But in the bot lane,
Death sentence again, Chiron with the play, things get dangerous. I don't know if this Soraka can get out with JB just spamming in the damage. He gets awfully close, but Triple X is there to hold him back for now, using just kind of zoning power. They don't have a tank though, and that's showing.
and unfortunately, it looks like we're not seeing a good start. As I'll hold that thought because in the top lane,
It's gotten a little bit dangerous as well. You can see that flank come through. For now, it's just going to be Demon Slayer hanging real close and real low. He's got a turret to hide behind though, so things will be safe. My focus is on Chiron. If he can land a good death sentence, they get a kill. That is the current state of this lane.
and the thing is, right now, Henk is really low. So even if they land the death sentence onto Triple X, if Henk decides to use a heal, they can instantly turn onto Henk and pick up a kill. So it's just so... Oh, there's death sentence.
Oh yes, there is death sentence in at an opening kill. The aftershock finds a good one. JV wants more damage as well. At the very least, they'll get turret plate from this push. This is a dominant start to Antwerp.
And look at Lumio and Kipstore.
Just poking. It's a bad day to be Brand in the jungle. I won't lie to you. Death sentence over the wall. He's in. It's a worse day to be Brand in the jungle because the left turn's perfectly placed and Triple X is gone. There's the blast cone out. Kled trying to pick up a kill on the flank, and he's got Karen down incredibly close, but he can't find a pick, and Lumio is just being shredded in the meantime. Kled will be dropped, and Karen is showing up in the jungle for another death sentence over the wall. Pop Blossom will grab one. That's going to be real scary for Hank trying to get out, but for now it's just going to be the Lantern, because entirely too many kills in that quadrant. It's enough for now.
5 kills to 1 and a 4... Sorry, I can't do maths. A 3k goal lead to Antwerp Lions. And the only reason they're that close is because they were able to find the return kill onto Lumio. That kill, of course, went on to Kipster. But right now, you're about to see this bot lane of Antwerp make their first back. And they have a lot of gold.
Will be Lumio to grab the red buff down bottom. Just kind of playing it slow for now. So Antwerp have a moment to pause, have a moment to plan their attack. What is the most efficient use of the lead they've generated?
Get JV as far ahead as possible, because actually, gonna hold that thought, because Lumio
is in trouble. He's got the turn. Nicely done. An opening pick for Lumio, and that will be yet more gold to his back.
Yeah, this invade, it's yet another case of seeing the jungler just invading.
Yeah. Oh, death sentence again down bottom. That's real good. And the kills picked up to follow. I don't know what you do against this.
You don't pick a Soraka into a Thresh, is what you do. Although, Goddess with Blade has it to Meganar, but can't do much with it.
We'll scare Meganar back. I'm real impressed by Karen's hooks. He played on Antwerp Lions 2 last season. And he was like good. That team was the better of the 2 Antwerp Lions sides that competed that season. But he wasn't hitting hooks like this.
And I feel like it's easier when it's against the Soraka because you can miss hooks, but when you land a hook, it is massive. Like, if you played against, let's say, an Alistar, you can land 6 hooks. None of them are going to do anything. You land... I'll hold that thought in the top lane.
Flag drag on the Cryptor, Cataclysm as well, and it's an opening pick. Goddess tries to get out, but there's no way to get away from that man's spear. Another Impale and another kill to the jar, but Lumio is terrifying. Karen, all the while, is just continuing to whittle away at that bottom tower. This is such a strong start for Antwerp.
And Krul's actually getting kind of low in that mid lane. They're able to use that transfusion to gain a bit of HP back. But they already have a Mountain Drake, and this is going to be a lot of turret damage coming through. And when they're already this far ahead, they're going to be getting that first turret real soon. In fact, it might be now in that top lane.
Did that death sentence just land down bottom? Okay, no. Alright, we're fine. Alright, deep breath. I had a scary thought. But you're right. Top lane's real scary. That tower's down to half HP. Bot lane, the tower's down to 1 segment. This isn't looking good. Triple Axe tries to get in. It is hooked. The Zimmer has damage. It won't be a kill over, but you can still see Karen's effect on this game as he will not miss a hook.
He's just so big right now. That hook lands. This is what I meant. There is no front line. If Kayron hits a death sentence onto anyone with the exception of a Goddess, it's practically a kill right there if he has a team around him.
Lumio's so far ahead. That's like real scary. And I know what you're gonna say when I talk about it, which is this is why you don't run brand. And that is a valid analysis of the jungle situation. But also Lumio's playing real hard.
Yeah, and to be fair, he has... Antwerp drafted really nicely around this because... I mean, to be fair, the Soraka came in at the end, but they have had lane prio, which means that they have been able to rotate with Lumio in those invades. It's not just, Lumio's not there saying, hey, I'm just going to invade on Kipstar. I'm just going to go and kill him. No, he has to know that his team can get to him before the enemy can. And this is why they have played against his brand so well.
The final turret flank falls down bottom. That tower's almost gone 3-10 minutes.
Oh, Lumio's here behind. We might see a turret dive.
Yeah.
They're just going to push
On the
that wave
flank.
in.
I want a good death sentence to open that up. The bot lane is going to be real scary, but there is a flank happening up top as well as Kipstar goes up for the kill. God with Blade is scared back. Kayron in for the tower down bottom. The turret's gone. There's the ult. The box is locked. And the kill will be guaranteed. Up top, Demon Slayer does have a bad time, so the trade is there, but only for a moment as the death sentence lands down bottom. And Lumio's got another, this time taking Lex's life.
And Eindhoven, I don't know what they're doing in that bot lane. They knew the turret was gone, as in the mid lane. Ooh.
He's fine. Vlad is fine. I'm glad you asked. He's doing great.
Double flash coming through there. Good reaction from McCrawl the Impaler. But going back to that bot lane, Triple X and Henk, they knew the turret was falling. Why did they stand so close to K-Rod? They knew Kipster was in the top lane looking for the gank, looking for the play onto Demon Slayer. They should have shown so much more respect there.
Mid lane though, Krull is doing real well. Krull is actually keeping pace as much as you can expect. So, Flash Cataclysm, another kill. I thought I'd have longer to talk before that kill just happened, and then Lumio just pressed his buttons, and he sure did get a kill.
And actually, I'm going to go to that top lane because I do disagree with you on that, because look at the CS difference. It's 20. And that's with Shades picking the Glacial Augment, which isn't supposed to be something aggressive in early. It's supposed to be something that's looking for more come later in the team, where you can lock people down, make it easier to hit your CC, make it easier for Kayron to hit his CC. So this is a big advantage and already has that first item.
Well, he won't be winning his mid lane anymore as the mid turret's destroyed. The 3-man rotate comes through, having won the bot lane. And there's nothing to keep Kayron and JV there. They'll roll up and grab it. And up top, Demon Slayer would like to go for round 2. Goddess is in trouble, dropped down to half HP.
And the Drake's going to fall as well, as Antwerp just looking to steamroll their lead more and more, and it's entirely possible having a Nico and a Sivir on one's team.
I'm real scared of Cameron's death sentences almost every single time. There's Megadar deployed up top. Demon Slayer drops to half HP, but wins the exchange nonetheless. Goddess would play really struggling. He's just going to have to back up, play it safe behind the turret.
And this is another thing I want to mention. When you pick a Gnar into a melee matchup, oh, the death sentence.
Kayron, death sentence. It's wide, but I'm still scared.
Oh, there's the Lantern. It's going to be a 3-man dive.
Yep, there's a little bit of a pickup there as well, but up in the mid lane, or top lane rather, the kill is already secure. Demon Slayer's gone. Kipster was the player that was harassed in the jungle. I thought maybe there would be a pick over to him just from Shades, but they opted to drift back, play it safe in kind of acknowledgement of the fact the rest of their team was otherwise occupied.
And now the Rift Herald is going to get picked up as well. And going back to what I was mentioning with this matchup between Goddess and Demon Slayer, the Gnar vs Poppy. Gnar isn't supposed to bully any melee champion. That's what Gnar does. He is a top lane bully against melee champions. He's playing against a Poppy and he has been beaten up. And Lumio hasn't been top that much. It's actually been Kipster who's been up a couple more times than Lumio. So again, Antwerp are winning the lanes that they're supposed to be losing as well. And this is just really big from them.
Yeah. This is an entirely new roster for Antwerp. Of course, like I said earlier, Cameron did play on their second team last season, and that team did much better than their first team. The first team changed roster a ton of times, didn't win a single match. I like this new stable look. I like them as a unit. I think this team could be a major shift in fortunes for Antwerp.
Yeah, and they're already pushing in onto this mid turret. The next race is going to be an Infernal. That's up in just under 3 minutes, which is just what Antwerp want, just more and more damage. And they're looking, again, in a really, really strong place right now.
Poor mid lane turret. I don't know what you do against this wave. You did have Cryptor on the flank, but he's so far behind that he's barely hurting people. And there's the Rift Herald, a full engage with the Cataclysm, and instantly a kill picked up. There's nothing Hank can do. Death sentence through as well. Crow pulled in. Stackling pull will keep him safe, but he goes for a full engage, and a shutdown is well earned. Finally, Lumio is stopped.
The Hemoplague absolutely massive there from Krull to be able to find that kill on Lumia and crucially get enough HP back to prevent the kill because he was getting burned by that red buff damage. So they're able to find something, but it's only 1 kill.
That was a very good performance and a very good sign, though. Because if I had to pick 1 kill for them to get, it would be Lumia. And if I had to pick 1 opening, 1 hold for them to achieve, it would be that mid lane. They stopped the Rift Herald. They didn't just kill Lumio, they won the fight.
And right now, Antwerp are just going to reset. They still have a massive, massive advantage. They got a lot out of that Rift play. They managed to pick up that inner turret. They are starving. This is something that I really like to mention, which is starving the enemy out of their own jungle, which means that you get enough vision in their jungle. And when you push forward, you take all of their jungle camps, which means that your enemy have no CS to get at all. And you just starve your enemy of gold, which is really nice to see from Antwerp, as they're going to look to just push in all the lanes. And we talked about this, the kind of pick and delete versus team comp. They have the 2 TPs. They can go for the split push.
They can go for the split push. For now, I don't know why they would, because they can just win anything.
They
Full
can.
control.
They
Why
can.
split push when you can just walk up to people and hit them? They got a few...
But you have to respect the brand ultimate. You have to respect the pyroclasm, because that does a lot of damage in team fights.
Were you saying that if I were this Antwerp team's shot caller, I would have just lost them the game?
No, because I think you're far enough ahead that it doesn't actually matter. But it will do soon.
A game I can't lose? Now that's a challenge.
I mean, we'll have to see, because Kipster's finally got his first item, the Runic Echoes, the Great Cord as well, but the ultimate coming from JV.
Oh my god, yep, on the hunt box, and the damage is there. Blackjack, Lumio to lead. Gipter somehow survived, burning to death, will eventually fall. That's somewhat ironic. 2 kills over. Hank fell as well. Now, there's maybe a chance for Kroll to turn things back. Sanctuary Gould keeps him safe from the death sentence, but there's so much damage from JV. Even with the spell shield, he can't take that many turret shoves, but he will keep pushing, scaring them back. And with 1 more wave, that turret's going to be in real trouble.
Yeah, 5 seconds until Kipster is back up, and now Shader's moved to that mid lane just to push that in, and they're pushing this 1-1-3, and we mentioned this split push again, time and time again, and they Antwerp are doing this.
There's the turret gone, the split push you called for in effect. Top lane is being focused down.
Yeah, and now they're just going to this jungle, starving Kipster from any gold. And this is just what they need to do. And Kipster has to be so careful, because look at this vision control that Antwerp Lions have. Look at how many blue wards are in the jungle. There is nowhere, especially in this bot side jungle, there is nowhere Eindhoven Lunatics can go without being seen.
I'm a real big fan, I'm not going to lie, of how JV played that last fight. He just like ran it. It's not what you're supposed to do as an ADC. But he popped on the hut and just ran it to Pele, right?
Can I just say that that's because he's got a lot of confidence in his team. He knows that he can run in, The ultimate gives movement speed to his entire team, and Lumio followed. He came in with a flash, flag and drag, cataclysm. He went all in, and JV knew that he had the team behind him to follow him. That's why he went for it. He didn't just, it's not a solo queue decision where he's like, you know what, let's just try to 1v5. He knows he has a team behind him. He knows he has a support and a jungler that can peel for him if he does happen to run into trouble. As Kipster.
Oh, Kipster in trouble. Will find a start up, but Cataclysm's there, and Lumia's got himself another pick. He's low. Meganar will be deployed. Got his blade is there. Oh, the stasis. Ah, the dead sentence. The most perfect. Still the kill comes through. That's what Jarvan's down. Got his blade to take the front line for pro pump. It's actually pull. Diving JV, and he can't quit the 1v1. The turn's there for an even trade though. Oh, Triple X is there outside the box, but he can't get free. And another sick death sentence lands. It takes the ball. A clean team ace. Broadly 2 in return.
5 for 2, and that is so big. The red buff ping-ponged around from Kipster at the start to Lumio. Then it went on to JV and then Triple X, and it just kept going around. And now Antwerp Lions, they're broken the base open. They're going to take this inhibitor and death sentence.
My god, does he ever stop? Karen, no. He
Don't
does not.
pick
Another
squishies
will
into Thresh. I have
Yeah,
to mention that.
If you want a mage support into Thresh, I'm gonna let you in on a secret as a Thresh main. Definitely don't run Morgana. Cause
No, you can run Morgana.
yeah, I was being sarcastic.
Okay, yeah.
There's like a whole bit where I like nibble on it. Don't let him in on the secret. Anyway. They could have run Morgana if they wanted this. They could have run a traditional tank into this. There were a lot of options, and I don't like that they chose none of them. And I don't think they like it either, especially not now that they lost that battle.
I mean, they could have picked Karma or Lulu. Both of them are major supports that can just about work into Thresh, but crucially, they've also just been buffed in 9.12. So, it was, you know, it's a clean option that they could have gone for. So, I don't know why they've gone for this, but I mean, Antwerp is taking their
Rated
advantage.
Soraka out of 10.
Oh,
Would you ride in Soraka's Uber?
no, never,
Alright.
no.
Firm rejection. Also gave them 1 star on Deliveroo. 4.6k.
I mean, to be fair, if it was Uber Eats, I'd give them a high rating, but look at that.
Speaking of Uber Eats, Karen absolutely eating Krull alive. Lands his sick death sentence, throws over the lantern. JV's instantly in the area, and they have enough damage to pull a whole team in. While in the meantime, Shades takes a second in him. I don't think they can win either fight here.
Oh, the root comes through.
Yeah, real scary. Oh, will go wide as well. Triple X just has to back up. That inhib's gone.
Yeah, and now the entire team of Eindhoven moving over to deal with these super minions. This is just going to allow the top lane just to get cracked open. Only 1 inhibitor remaining, and Antwerp could look for the end right here, right now.
This is going to be all 3 inhibs gone. I don't know how you survive that. There's a little bit of poke forward. Krull wants to scare them back, and he'll successfully do so. You can see them just managing a little bit of poke damage around the side, but there's no way to win a poke game against Deceiver. And they learn that real quick as Hank gets knocked low. Goddess is already in Meganar, which is devastating. He can't use it when it matters. Demon Slayer's able to weave, dodge back past him, and now the death sentence is there. The Nexus turns, they're falling, and a kill's already been granted over. There's no way back from that. Lumio into 4 with the Cataclysm goes down. He's got Diego Populus there to follow, and this team fight is devastating. 2 players instantly gone. Triple X has got us both down. There is low HP across the board on the attacking side, but it will not matter as game number 2 of the City League Season 1 goes to the Antwerp Lions.
And Thessaloniki said in game 1, this is how you introduce a new team to City League. Antwerp Lions said, hold my beer. And here we are. But
I think they have beer. That looks like the kind of place where you have beer.
yeah. But
I bet they have drinks. All smiles on the Antwerp Lions side.
And I think that hand gesture was, why do you pick Brand? Also, Brand Hail of Blades. What? When he played Brand last time, he went Electrocute, so I'm not too sure. This feels weird. But enough about the Brand pick.
Hi, Iron Tobin. I can see them all grouping round to watch the end of the game. That was a rough first outing. The City League is much more casual league, so you get an opportunity to have had first outings and come back and make changes. If there was going to be something they should keep from this first take, what should it be?
For Antwerp Lions or for the Lunatics?
For Antwerp.
I think, to be honest, I think they've given a better showing than Thessaloniki. Because Thessaloniki went gung-so. They went, we're just going to try to batter everyone without a care in the world. Antwerp played sensibly. They played to their win conditions. And they played practically a perfect game. They won every single lane. They out-jungled. They followed their jungle just like Thessaloniki did in game 1. And I really like this communication, the way that Antwerp are playing. So honestly, I think Antwerp are really strong contenders to take this second spot in Group A, maybe even challenge Thessaloniki for the top spot.
Hey, that's a call out. Thessaloniki, get your act together. There is competition in Group A. Opposing them, of course, it was a rough first introduction for the Lunatics. What should they change to be a little bit less insane, and what also worked well for them?
I think you know what I'm going to say that they shouldn't do in their next game.
No Brand. Got it.
No Brand jungle. You know, to be honest, this game was lost in the draft phase. A, the Brand pick. B, picking the Soraka into a Thresh. Again, I can't remember which way around it went, if the Thresh was picked into the Soraka. But either way, you shouldn't blind pick a Soraka like that. I mean, even when I go in solo queue and I see a Soraka, I just think, because there's so many ways to outplay a Soraka. You can go for something like a Karma.
Is that your free win laugh?
Yeah. Whenever I see a Soraka, you can do two things. You can pick something like a Karma, because you can just out-poke the Soraka. You can just poke her down so easily. Or you go for something like a Blitzcrank, like a Thresh, and you just destroy the Soraka. So the drafting phase for Eindhoven wasn't quite there. And even in the lane that they had the priority in, that Gnar going into the Poppy, they lost the lane. So there's a lot for Eindhoven Lunatics to work on, but it has to start in that drafting phase.
Fix the draft, come back next week. There will be many more games for them over the course of the regular season. We do have 2 more games today as well. I may be suffering here in the California heat, but it is nothing compared to the white-hot fire of competition that's about to be sparked over in Group B. It'll be Hub Leuven getting their first introduction to the City League, playing off against Swordfish Banja Luka's second team when we return right after this.
Let's have a bit of fun till our downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
like a Hellcat. Coming like a Hellcat. Like a Hellcat.
down alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
You got the changes.
Life. Life.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star.
Didn't even get to cross.
I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass. You're looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get a glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We aren't hating because you aren't shining like it's neon. Rock like kings of Leon. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, them amateurs have to leave. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, them amateurs.
Welcome back to the City League. We had some account issues on one of the teams, but we're resolving them real fast. So we'll be into game number 3 of the evening in just a moment. My name's still TJ, still Milky Cereal next to me. This has been a very exciting day of games. We've just concluded Group A. I'm asking you the hot question. Having seen all 4 teams in that A group, who has your favourite so far?
It has to be Thessaloniki and Antwerp Lions. Both of them winning very comfortably.
All right. I'm going to check my notes, Chief, but I don't think you're allowed to just say the 2 winners of the games.
No?
Give me a prediction. Work for this color
building. I'm building. I'm generating interest. So, both of those teams look very strong. I like Antwerp Lions a lot because they played to their strengths. They played sensibly, so we can see how we can expect them to play for the rest of the season. Whereas for Thessaloniki, they're not going to play like that for the rest of the season. They're going to play like that on games that they think that they can win easily. But apart from those games, they have more to grow. So I do still think Thessaloniki, they are the reigning champions. They can play even better than what we saw in game 1. So I do still think that they are the favourites for Group A.
We'll start things off, of course, with Hump Leuven and their first game of City League against Swordfish Banjaluka's second team. Swordfish Banjaluka had a first team that did rather well last season, and they will be playing later tonight in our final game of the evening. You can see their second team getting set up for the first time on stream right now. They had some account issues, so I think they're still sorting those out, but we have all 10 players in the lobby, so we'll presumably get into it soon.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to this game because both teams, I think, I do believe, are new. As you mentioned, Swordfish Banjaluka were there in Season 1, but this is a new team for them. So this time, it's not a new team versus an old team. So hopefully we won't see the clapping, as it is known on the internet. And we'll see a nice, tense, drawn-out game that, tests both teams to the maximum.
So far, 2 teams are 0 for 2. Yeah. It's been a kind of a performance, but with these 2 new teams going head-to-head, you're absolutely right. We can't make that prediction. But if you have a prediction to send our way, please go ahead and do so either in the Twitch chat, which I'm keeping an eye on, and I see you, or over on Twitter. You can hit us up using the hashtag TCL, and of course follow us at City League GG. And I'd recommend you do so, because if you're following that account, you'll be tuned into the giveaways from our sponsor, HyperX, throughout the rest of this season. We'll be giving away, I believe, a mouse and some mouse pads, which will be very exciting. HyperX also supplied a keyboard and mouse to every single winner, and they look real sick. So I think these teams have a little bit extra besides just the €300 on the line.
And as I said before, I'm going to repeat the same joke. I need a new mouse. So yeah, I'm going to have to enter that giveaway as well.
If it ain't broke,
are casters allowed to join the giveaway?
Normally, and I'm just checking. Oh no, it just says no in giant letters right here. It's weird.
Okay.
It's like red pen too. I don't know how someone did that. You can, though, sneak your way in. And if you'd like to do so, you can find all the details for our giveaways, our social media, our schedule for the evening, our bracket. Oh my god, there's actually so much now that I think about it. You could also stay updated about our other leagues, like the upcoming Counter-Strike season over at cityleague.gg. That's right, cityleague.gg. It sounds like our Twitter handle, but it's a website.
Yeah, and CSGO will be starting tomorrow. I would like to say, what the team names are that are playing in it, but I don't actually know. So
many of the clubs, I think Swordfish has a CS team. I've casted some of the CS League. Many of the clubs have teams in both, but it varies. We have some sides in League that we don't have in Counter-Strike and vice versa. So hopefully that's a sign that over the upcoming seasons, we'll see more of that cross-pollination. We'll see more of those teams be able to play in both CS and Counter-Strike, or both CS and League of Legends, because if they did that, then we'd have so many more teams. If you'd like to start a club and join the City League yourself, maybe with your local European LAN center, you could do so over at Melky.
What?
Oh, you can join the, over
yes.
at the website.
I wasn't ready for this. Okay,
No.
do it again. Give me one more time. Okay, you're right. Yes, sorry. Okay, I'm ready.
Now, of course, if you'd like to join City League, you can do so over at the website, which is...
cityleague.gg.
Whoa, we nailed that first try.
Yeah, I
I'd
mean,
encourage
none
you-
of the other stuff happened. Make sure that when it goes up as a VOD, that is all deleted and it syncs perfectly.
And I encourage you to go over there and check out our video editor, who's great. Let's turn our focus though to this first game of Group B. We'll be able to get an overview of it tonight, but we do have a very exciting Swordfish Banjaluka second team being pulled in here. We got a peek at their setup. They're currently resolving some audio issues. I want you to rate from the two team cams you've seen so far, because this is your first time actually seeing the Swordfish side, how good those setups seem.
See, I haven't committed it to memory. I did like the Swordfish Banjaluka because over in the UK, which is where I live, we have a place.
Would never have guessed.
No, you'd never guess. Never. So we have a place that has a similar kind of setup, and to be honest, I think I need to get them entered because
In the City League?
In the City League.
What website would you go to if you wanted to encourage your local land centre to join the European City League?
I can't remember. cityleague.gg. Okay. Right.
They have a really sick setup there, and we've already seen it carry one of their teams to reasonable success in the City League. Last season, their Banjaluka roster was real good. They are going to have to... Actually, it's going to be entertaining. Because of the account issues they were having, they're going to have to play some of their players from the second team on the accounts from the first team. So you'll see some players twice. Don't worry. We'll worry about it on the fly, but it's the players from two playing on the accounts for one. And they're playing against the brand new club, Hub Leuven, who haven't played in the City League before.
And I'm not going to spoil it just yet, but there are some very, very spicy names coming through from the Swordfish Banjaluka side. So be hyped for those. But I want to talk about some league now. You know, we've got some time to fill, and you know how much I want to be talking about this. So
actually, the moment I'm going to put down my tablet because I don't want to hold it for like 4 hours. I know where this conversation is going. The moment we logged onto this call to start doing our show today, he was like, do you think we'll have time? And I was like, yeah. To talk about, and I was like, yeah, the Mordekaiser rework.
And then you're like, no.
Sure. So this is your time. What's exciting you about the latest patch?
So, as everyone will remember, there was a champion called Pizza Feet, aka Mordekaiser. He used to have pizza feet, so he was known as the Pizza Feet champion. And a Mordekaiser rework has been building up for a long, long time. But what would happen each time Riot decided to get a Mordekaiser rework? You're checking out Pizza Feet, aren't you?
Oh, whoa. Never mind. There's a video game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the City League. We're going to cut off the Mordekaiser discussion real quick. It's the Hub Leuven versus Swordfish Banjaluka in our first game of Group B and our third game of Day 1.
The Kane being banned away straight away. And, I mean, Game 1, we saw the Mordekaiser banned. Game 2, we didn't see the Mordekaiser banned or picked. So, I'm feeling the Mordekaiser pick in one of these Swordfish Banjaluka games. Hopefully we get it right here, right now, because Mordekaiser looks real fun. Jin?
We had him banned out real fast during Game 1. Game 2, neither team banned or picked him. To be fair, I did warn you that would happen. Game 3, I mean, we've seen both other states. It must happen here, right?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I'm a bit flabbergasted at the minute. Ooh, flabbergasted. I'm going to use that more. So I'm a bit flabbergasted by this Jin ban. Yeah. No. Okay. I'm not flabbergasted by bans. I'm flabbergasted by the Jin ban. So I'm going to guess Rivet is a Jin main because Jin really is not in the meta right now. So
Perhaps a target ban on the Jin and a target ban on
It
your
is.
Soul with
He's
the
got
Lord Kaiser.
132 games played on the Jin. Yeah, it's a target ban. But then again, Jin isn't the strongest of champions right now. So I'm surprised that they put emphasis on this Jin ADC ban over something like a Kai'Sa, something like the Caitlyn that has just got a little bit of a buff. And speaking of Caitlyn, it has not been picked or banned out in the first 2 games. And I think it's a champion that is being slightly overlooked so far.
Let's talk about who made it through that draft, though. I'm really excited because Yumi made it through the draft. And we only saw Yumi in game 1 today, but I'm
Please
a firm
no.
believer that she's one of the most broken characters in the video game.
Please no. I have a big hatred towards Yumi and Janna for that matter because they're stupid.
I've actually noticed a lot of people, a lot of serious esports gamers do not like Yumi. And I don't know why, because Yumi's like objectively adorable.
Yeah, but if it was about being adorable, everybody would love Timo. But that doesn't happen.
Timo doesn't look adorable.
Yes, he does. He's adorable.
Let's talk about Rek'Sai Sion, though. That's a blast from like the LPL past. Sion not seen too often these days, but certainly a competent top laner. Rek'Sai still dominant, still terrifying in the jungle meta.
Yeah, and the key thing with Rek'Sai is you have to watch out for that early game. He is so strong early, but he does massively fall off. So expect to be seeing Swordfish Banjaluka playing for that early game. Expect to see FNT the Nose. Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. Expect to see him really putting a lot of gank pressure. However, I love this bot lane and this mid lane pick because you cannot gank a LeBlanc. It's so hard with that distortion, and then playing against a Sivir with a spell shield and the Thresh. We saw this last game come through. This Sivir Thresh bot lane is also going to be a really tricky lane to gank. So I do like how Hub 11 are drafting right now.
I'm interested. This is like a tale of two schools. This is like perfect meta coming through from Hub Leuven, and opposing them, Swordfish, are just doing their own thing. Well, they like the Scion, so they'll do it. And none of these bans are like wrong. None of them are bad. None of these picks are bad, but they're all a little bit out of meta.
Okay. But I really like the Syndra pick on Voldemort because that Syndra, so the key thing about Syndra is it always pushes lane. There is not really any other champion that will push lane as hard as Sivir, as hard as a Syndra does, and Sivir for that matter. So expect to see Voldemort pushing in that lane, but crucially rotating with the Rek'Sai. Now, if they're rotating to that bot lane, Porg can get off that ultimate. That will be a big ultimate. And combine that with a good rotation, a good team rotation from Voldemort and the Nose, we could see some big plays coming through from the side of Swordfish Banjaluka.
I'm excited to see Hub play Thresh Sivir, though. That bot lane is like solid. I really like Thresh into Sivir because they combo so well. The Thresh keeps people locked down while the Sivir hammers in sustained damage. It'll take him a bit to get online, but mid-game, I would not want to be in lane against him.
No. And Sivir is just really strong, and I like what they've done entirely in this pick because they've taken away Unholy Kiss's 2 best ADCs, which is that Sivir and the Jhin. So they've taken that away, which does mean the Kate is open, and I do think Kate should be picked up because you can get a really nice Kate lane with something like even a Blitzcrank, but they're going to be going for that Ezreal. So a nice safe lane. So expect to see maybe something like a Braum coming out, maybe even that Karma that I do really like right now.
This reminds me of like EU meta, but a few patches ago. Is that intentional? Or is it coming back? What's up with that?
I think most ADCs would put Ezreal as like an A-tier ADC, so he's still strong. But Volibear is a really interesting pick.
Not?
And that and that's going in the jungle, or even top. So I guess we'll find out with this final pick.
What? All right. I'm excited because everything else from Hub Leuven looked so normal, and then we just get Ornn Volibear as the last 2 picks.
Oh, Nautilus. No, I don't think they're going to go Nautilus. There we go. I said
There's
the
the
Braum.
Braum.
It's the protective lane.
How does it feel to look smart?
It feels amazing. I mean, I remember the first couple of times I started color casting, and I got drafts like completely wrong. Like they were just completely wrong. And then all of a sudden, you know, I started actually predicting stuff, and I felt amazing. I was like, "There we go. I am Papa Smithy. Just there we go. Call me into LCK."
Actually, not. But he's gonna get there. Give him like 2 years. Let's talk about the draft as a whole, though, because we've now wrapped it up. I'm definitely siding I think pretty dominantly in favor of Hub Leuven, because this draft just appeals so much to my meta sensibilities, right up until we got Volibear Ornn, which drift out of the meta. But I always have a soft spot for a team that's willing to run things like Sion, like Syndra Ezreal, because they're not bad, and that says to me that these players are confident on those characters more so than they would be in the meta.
Yeah. And again, I'm going to go back to what I always go to, which is team fight versus pick and delete. In this case, it's not a pick and delete. It's a poke comp coming from Swordfish Banjaluka. They're going to be poking with those mystic shots coming from Unholy Kiss. The Voldemort on that Syndra can get off a fair bit of poke, as can the Rek'Sai. But once they get low enough, expect Sunkyov to be jumping in with that Glacial Fissure, getting off loads of damage, and that's when they will just try to pick someone up and blow them apart. Whereas if you're the side of Hub Leuven, because you have got that LeBlanc, because you have got that Thresh, you're more looking for a single pick. If you can find a pick and get off that distortion, you can really blow someone up, especially if you land some CC onto Voldemort, Unholy Kiss, or even onto that Rek'Sai.
This is a good time to notice, since you did see that beautiful shot of the Swordfish setup. We're now looking at Hub Leuven. Ooh, that's nice. It's very blue, though. I don't know quite how they achieved that color. It's really
also,
impressive. Anyway,
there are spoilers. We can see that they're in game.
Oh my god, what is that? Is that ADC lane?
Look, you can see that they're grouping. They're grouping.
Whoa.
Oh,
all right,
we're getting
anyway,
massive spoilers.
Before we talk about that, oh yeah, cut away real fast. I want to talk about what's going on. You ruined it for both of us. Don't act innocent here. I was like just going to power through, but you had to point it out. The Swordfish Banjaluka side are playing on a couple accounts from their main team. That means you'll see a couple people in this game and the next, namely Pog and Sunjkop are both on that main team, but they're just lending their accounts to the second team because they had some issues with account transfers across regions. It is Mix234 playing under Pog's name, and Alexander playing under Sunjkop's name. Now, if I were a real good caster, I would keep that in my head, and I'd refer to them by their names throughout the entire game. But I'm not. And there are like 3 people playing under alternate accounts, and I can't keep that all straight. So for the sake of you watching and easily being able to read, and my sanity
yeah.
just refer to them as Sunjkov and Pog
Our
during
sanity.
this game. But it is not those players, so don't be alarmed when you see them playing on 2 teams.
And we've only got 12 seconds left of this spectator delay.
Play by playing the timer?
I am. I find the timer extremely interesting, I'll have you know.
Okay. Well, tell you what, I'll sidetrack you hard. Of these 2 drafts, we do this every time.
Oh,
which draft do you favor a little bit more?
I already
Give me
did
a hard
this.
prediction
I
for
just
this game.
did this. This is I count this as league
Give me a hard
harassment.
prediction.
Right, hang on. Let me Syndra, LeBlanc, Sivir. Okay. I like how Leuven have drafted. I don't think that Rek'Sai is going to be able to do much damage or get much stuff off. I think Hub-Leuven will win. However, if Zhao Panji plays badly and doesn't use his distortions at the right time, which leads to him getting caught out by the Rek'Sai, I then think Swordfish Banjaluka 2 will win the game.
All right, Swordfish Banjaluka 2 not favored.
No.
By the sounds of it, I think he favors Hub-Leuven.
You make it sound like I wasn't being clear enough.
I really just look for like a one-word answer to these color calls. I just want you
color-
to be like this team.
You're never going to find a color caster who gives you a one-word answer.
I do that. I'm on color. My 5-5 plays like, who's gonna win this game? I'm like, this team. They're like, really, TJ? I'm like, yep.
My job is analysis. I've got to give that analysis.
No, my
but
job is the analysis.
We've
It's
got
Pirates.
the invade. The invade is here.
Oh my god, this is what we watched earlier. This is the mad group. As it was prophesied! Unfortunately, it doesn't end in anything exciting. Everyone just drifts back.
Yeah, so again, it's going to be somewhat boring. The excitement will be in that mid lane. LeBlanc into Syndra, both flashy champions, and we could see a lot of stuff going on there. In the bot lane, it's all going to come down to Unholy Kiss, just poking down with those mystic shots, and Rivet just spamming abilities, and then using the spell shield to get more mana. So that's what we can expect to see, really, in this game.
So, jungle matchup, Volibear and Rek'Sai. You said you didn't think Rek'Sai would be able to get the picks he was looking for. One of the powers of Rek'Sai is during that early game, the opening few minutes where he's going to be very effective at grabbing isolated lane ganks. Do you just think that's not going to happen?
I don't think so, because I mean, every jungler slash mid laner knows that it's so hard to get a gank onto a LeBlanc just because there's just so much maneuverability. And his only option is onto the Ornn, which I don't really think is the best of potentials. I think Hunt is going to have a much better time looking for hits. So, because...
Oh, death sentence! Right off the bat, Unholy Kiss, get out
the
of
level
here!
2.
My God! A sick opening kill with a flash forward.
And that all comes down to knowing your minions, knowing your XP. They timed the level 2. As soon as they hit level 2, that death... In fact, before they hit level 2, they're in the mid lane.
Fine.
That's a
Voldemort's fine.
really...
He's on fire, but everything's fine.
That was a brilliant scatter of the week straight after the flash in from Zhao Panji. So really, really good reactions from Voldemort in the mid lane. But now, Nose is here.
Things getting dicey in the bot lane and in mid. Nose will come out on the Reg side. There's those leg ganks I was calling for. As Panji is down for the first time this game. We're tied 1-1 in early game.
Now, what did I say about using your distortion in the mid lane? If you use it badly, you're going to get caught out. But in the top lane, Poklo.
Yeah, this is one of the beefiest lane battles I've ever seen.
Oh, the flash.
Hawk is losing, oh my god, quite substantially, as he's just pure shut down up top.
And that's just complete disrespect. I mean, straight away from looking at that, you know, he's low. The flash is up. The flash auto could possibly get the kill. He gets the bellow off, followed by the flash, and it's just an easy solo kill. Oh, death sentence to bot lane.
Death sentence again on Holy Kiss with the flash out, trying to get to safety. And Snipcom is able to stand in the front line. The Unbreakable will keep everyone safe. That is a sick defensive play, but Unholy Kiss has got to stay wary of those thresholds.
And, I mean, currently, Hub-Leuven, they do have the lead. I mean, if they hadn't given away that free kill in the mid lane, it would have been that much better for them. And, I mean, at least in this game, we're not seeing one jungler just constantly invading in the other jungle. Both junglers have got their space. They're able to farm up that little bit. But I would like to see a bit more vision control from Zhao Panji.
A little bit more aggressive flank from him, and that needs to be backed up by the vision in the jungle around him. Otherwise, what we saw happen to him earlier, the Nose just being able to slide in and gank him. Now the tables have been turned, but he's denied. Hunter, ping pong, back out. Voldemort still looking sick in mid.
Yeah, and that, once again, the scatter of the week. And this is how... So, right, the reason why Zhao Pandi is winning lane, or would have been winning lane, is because he's using the distortion aggressively. Whereas Voldemort is saving every single scatter of the week for when Zhao Pandi comes or Hunter is coming. And that's why he's being that bit safer. That's why he's been able to get the kill. He's playing much more sensibly in this lane. He's not playing as solo queue as Zhao Pandi is.
Hog up top is still rolling forward. The early exchange went disastrously against him. Now he's been able to take a little bit more control, and he is decisively pushing back the wave up top. That's nice to see.
And jungler now here in this bot lane might look for something if Rivet and Lumineon push this wave too far forward. But they're being really sensible so far.
Winter's bite go wide a few moments ago. Pog being sensible. The man walks underneath the tower and takes a few bad hits from it. Robin's entirely happy with it, having equalized the HP. Pog's going to have to play back. Rek'Sai is still hovering down bot. Pog, who again forward, and Hunter's here to punish. Flash out, it doesn't get him to safety. He's scooped back in and shut down. Now Ghost will try and get an equalizer down bottom, but they're simply playing too defensive, too
the aggressive flash.
Himself is in trouble as River pushes forward, burning down 2 kills, a double kill for the Sivir. This looks to get even worse. Nose finally gets the thresh, but it's all been a stalling play because Pandy's there for a pickup, and it's 6-2 in the kill feed at the 6-minute mark.
Really well played by Hub Leuven. And this is what we mentioned. Rek'Sai is not going to be able to get those ganks off, and that was a perfect demonstration. They come in, the spell shield, the flay from Lumi is enough to just slow them down so much. And then every time I see FNT, I want to say Fnatic, but the nose, he then decides to go onto the Thresh, and it just leaves Rivet to get off as much damage as he wants onto this Ezreal Braum bot.
And Rivet just does exactly that, pushing forward and spamming out easy autos. That's what a Sivir will do if you let her get to squishies completely uncontested.
Yeah, and sitting 2-0, going for that IE straight away. Sometimes we see the Essence Reaver build coming out early, but not this time, going straight for that damage because he thinks he's that far ahead and he doesn't need the mana.
I'm actually a little bit astonished by the decision making from Nose, because he sat in that bush for an awful long time. He felt like they had to push forward and get a kill, so he does, and then he gets separated, split from the team.
Leuven knew that they were there. Hub Leuven knew. There were question mark things. They knew that he was sitting there. I don't know how. They must have seen him walking in from somewhere. And that's why Hunter went straight to the top lane. They knew that they had the priority. They picked up the kill. And Leuven just sat defensive and forced FNT the nose to make something. Forced them to burn that flash and heal.
Oh, flash forward, death sentence, it lands, the lantern as well, Unholy Kiss is gone again, Rivet's got 2 more kills.
And you thought the Thresh from the last game was good. And the nose in the top lane now.
Robin had to speed back behind tower, but he does. Leave and turn back to scare, Nose away.
Yeah, and that's why you can't gank the Ornn, because he's just got so many escape potentials. In the mid lane, Voldemort getting poked out a fair bit, but bot lane turret's about to fall here.
Yeah, already really good plays down bottom. Lumineon absolutely blew my mind in that last fight. There'll be some scary things happening in mid. Pandy's able to get to safety. In the meantime, Pog up top needs to take the fight. Mr. Robin will successfully phase out. Take Q to play safe.
And again, we're just seeing the nose trying to find these picks in different lanes, but as we mentioned before, he's going to really struggle to do it. And now Drake's going to fall.
Nose? What? I don't know what you expected to happen. He loses the Drake, he gets picked up. An easy death sentence box and an easy kill.
Yeah, and it's only an ocean, so I don't know why he was trying to int for it, essentially. I mean, if it was a mountain or infernal, I can understand the suicide for a smite. But, in the mid lane.
Yeah, dicey. Two players low, but they'll play safe. Unholy Kiss in the meantime, trying to get to safety in the ball
Oh,
lane.
good
And
play.
he can't. The play, it's perfect. And they got to come. Unholy Kiss has to keep backing out. Off the true shot, that gets him a little bit more safety. Not enough.
In fact, if anything, that true shot barrage almost killed him because Sivir got the spell shield off from it and almost killed him with a boomerang blade by his Rek'Sai.
There's no of an answer. Maybe. Rivet will lantern
Oh!
out. Nicely done, but he goes in the wrong direction. Oh, the death sentence play. It's perfect from Neon. High